East expert, and she's the president of Girton College at the University of Cambridge. Thank you very much indeed for being with us, Dr. Kendall. So, I mean, the Houthis claim, of course, that they are acting out of solidarity for the Palestinians. Of course, they haven't saved a single Palestinian life. But this is more about domestic politics for them, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I should say that Houthis are not entirely devoid of ideology. Their slogan has, for the last 20 years at least, included the words death to America and death to Israel. But yes, absolutely, it's very opportunistic for them. What they actually want is access to resources like oil, gas, ports, and they want recognition. And by that, I don't necessarily mean a seat at the UN, but they want recognition in the media, they want publicity, and of course, they play to their domestic base through this.
And have they been affected at all by the weakening of the other arms of the Iranian axis and, of course, Tehran itself?
Well, they will stand to lose long-term by the weakening of Tehran and the members of the Axis of Resistance. But for now, it was always Iran's intention to empower and enable the Houthis. They can just continue to act independently. They can produce arms domestically, albeit they won't be of the same caliber or sophistication as those that have been coming from Iran. And so certainly there'll be some slow degradation with their arsenal and with their ability to hit and target Israel more precisely. But on the other hand, they could also see this as a little bit of an opportunity for them. They've always hankered after more of a leadership position within the Axis of Resistance. This could be their moment, and they are building off tangential relationships elsewhere outside the Axis with actors like the Al-Qaeda affiliate in Somalia, Al-Shabaab, and also with elements of Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, as well as with some international powers like Russia.
Is there any internal resistance to the Houthis, and is there any way the world can support the opposition?
Yes, there is internal opposition to the Houthis inside Yemen, definitely in the form of the Presidential Leadership Council and its affiliated government, which is the internationally recognized government of Yemen. The issue with that opposition is that it's quite divided amongst itself at the moment. So what the international community would have to do would be to build bridges between the different factions within the anti-Houthi coalition, and then also to align the regional actors such as Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, who support elements inside that internationally recognized government to all head towards the same goals.
They've faced down the Saudis. They're harassing world trade. But what would you say then, in conclusion, is their grand plan? Is it to take over Yemen completely? Do they have territorial aspirations beyond that?
Well, the Houthis have spoken about a grand plan of shifting the balance of power within the Middle East generally, but it's much more likely that they would be satisfied with greater power inside Yemen, because at the moment the Houthis do not have easy access to any of the revenues that would come from the energy resources, the oil and gas that Yemen produces. And also they would need to have ratified and legitimate control of a seaport. That is really what they want.
Dr. Elisabeth Kendall, thank you very much indeed.
You're welcome.